Can you tell me a little bit about why you wanted to start volunteering here?
Well, obviously you have to have a genuine love of animals to work in an animal shelter, but, just wanting to help people and do what you can also helps.
Well, how often do you volunteer?
I make it a point to come in a couple times a week at least, but I go to school full time and I have a job, so that's usually all I can manage. But if I have any extra time or if I know that I have like a break coming up, I try to squeeze in an extra day or so.
Do you volunteer anywhere else besides here?
I have in the past, like when I was younger, I used to dance at nursing homes around the holidays and stuff. But like I said, I go to school full time and I have a job, so right now I can really only manage one volunteer project.
Oh, one's fine enough. I think anything is good, really. Can you describe some of your daily activities here, or what you do, just your day-to-day basis?
Most of it's pretty obvious, actually. You have to make sure all the animals are fed and they have water and that their cages are clean. But if the weather's nice enough, we can take them outside to run around and get some exercise. Otherwise, we just play with them inside, which isn't as fun, but
Do you have any other volunteers like that just come in like one specific day or something to volunteer and like play with the animals?
kind of, yeah, but most of the time it's the people that come in are regulars.
Oh, that's kind of makes sense. Do you get a lot of the funds through like public funding, or are there more like private donations that you get?
Well, I'm not really in charge of all of that, but I'm pretty sure that a lot of our funding comes from tax dollars because we work out of Macomb County, but we also get private donations, of course.
As like, do you have a lot of any paid employees, or is it strictly volunteer based?
There are some of both. There are people that are in charge that are generally paid employees, but the volunteers are normally responsible for doing the things that I do, like the feeding and the walking and the playing with the dogs and such.
All right. Do you have any specific activities that increase the community involvement or awareness?
I don't really know too much about those activities because I don't plan them. I know we participated in those find a friend activities where animal shelters like come together to one place and bring their pets with them, hoping to have them be adopted. But most volunteers don't schedule or handle these events, so I don't have too much information on them. Sorry.
Yeah, that makes sense. I could ask someone else if I have to. Can you tell me the most rewarding aspect of working here?
Um, I would say the most rewarding part of working here is just knowing that I'm making a difference where it's really needed. I like knowing that, the time that I spend here is helping the animals who would otherwise just probably sit around in their cages all day and have probably little to no affection or even contact with people. Plus, like I said, I love animals. I have dogs at home. So I just find it all around enjoyable.
Now, I know euthanization is like a touchy subject. I know there are some places that have like a no-kill policy, but can you tell me how you feel about that or how the shelter deals with that?
Well, personally, I don't agree with that at all. I don't have a say in it here, but I have made my feelings about it known to the supervisors. None of the volunteers here are particularly fond of the idea, but there isn't much that can be done to prevent it. Sometimes it just has to be done. Some of the animals that come to us are so sick or injured that they're beyond our help, and it would be impractical to house them here when there are so many other animals that need our help in our space.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. But what happens to the animals that aren't adopted? Is there like a limit to how long you can keep them here?
Well, we try to keep the animals here for as long as we can. As a volunteer, I don't get a say in what happens to the animals or how long they're able to stay here, but yeah.
All right. Do a lot of the animals end up being adopted, or do they actually stay here for like a really, really long time?
Um, I would say that there are actually like a surprising number of animals that actually end up getting adopted. Like if we take in a litter of puppies or something, we try to get the word out that we have new animals. Or if we have a dog that's been here for a long time, we make it our featured animal on our website with all of its information. And hopefully someone visits the site and ends up wanting to adopt it. It's just like, it's a way of making sure that the animals that have been here the longest might finally be able to find a happy home because that's what we like to see.
That's nice. Um, where was I? Are the animals brought in usually from like animal control or like previous owners?
We kind of get a mixture of both. I'm not really here much when the animals are brought in, but I have seen animal control bring dogs in. I've kind of seen both.
All right. Um, are many of the animals like? Do they have severe health issues, and how are those dealt with?
Well, fortunately, I haven't seen too many animals with severe health issues. Usually, if animal control picks up a dog or something that's really sick or injured, they usually receive emergency care from like a vet before being brought
Yeah.
here, where they might also receive like follow up care with them before they come to us.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think that's a lot easier that way. Are there any real drawbacks to working here, like emotional attachment? I know if I were working here, I think it'd be kind of hard for me to not become attached to the animals.
Yeah, definitely. The emotional attachment is obviously a drawback. I try not to get too attached to any of the animals because I know I can't keep them. But I think every volunteer here gets someone attached to at least some of the animals. It's kind of hard not to.
Have you ever actually like really been so attached to an animal that you just chose to either adopt or foster it?
Well, with my current situation being what it is, I can't really take in any more animals. I already have two at home. But, between work and school, I'm really not home enough to take care of them or give them the attention they deserve. But I do know a few other volunteers who have adopted or fostered some animals.
All right. Would you say that your career is actually like connected to volunteering here at all, or is it just strictly like a passion of yours?
No, it's not really connected to my major or anything. I'm going to nursing school right now, so I guess you could say that they're connected since I'd be taking care of either animals or people, but they're really not directly connected. It's more something that I like on the side.
Well, all right, thanks. I think I have everything I need. So I will email you if I have any
Okay.
follow-up questions.